Hey everybody, I'm Wyatt Paints, and today I'm going to be painting the fourth and final brother, Donatello in 1/8 scale by Creative Geek. Let's get started. You may have noticed I figured out my new camera just in time for the 10th episode. Now I just have to get over the feeling of all my mistakes being in HD. The base is the same as before, null and oil shade followed by a two-step dry brush of cold gray and stonewall gray. Seeing as this is the fourth time around, I want to forego repeating the same commentary too much, so I'll take this time to answer some questions I was sent in DMs. I figured if somebody was interested in knowing, maybe someone else would be interested in those answers as well. First question, what brand of paints do I prefer? Well, that's a bit of a mixed bag, as I like different paints for different things. For a majority of colors, I like Vallejo Game Color line for its vibrancy. For skin tones and the orange to yellow range, my favorite is Privateer Paris or P3. They give great coverage. When it comes to washes, I used to swear by Citadel, but they have recently changed their formula, which has left me less than impressed. Last, when it comes to metallics, I'm kind of torn between Vallejo's liquid metal line and AK Interactive's chrome. Also, as an honorary mention, Army Painter speed paints are kind of growing on me, and it was suggested that I check out Arteza acrylics. Once I get in my set, I'll make a video on it. Now that the base is done, I handled his shell in the typical way. Bootstrap brown, followed by an earthen shade, and then a dry brush up with a desert yellow. For Donatello's skin, I simplified the process and kept it just to the base of gunship green, followed by a heavy dry brush of livery green. Next question. Do I paint or play 40K? I haven't yet, but I have been recently sent a cool Space Marine statue that I may paint in a future video. I just need to decide on a chapter. Leave a comment if you think it should be Ultramarine, Salamander, or Space Wolf. Don's chest was given the same treatment as his brother. Desert yellow base, then a sepia wash, followed by a two-step dry brush of desert yellow, then Manoth white. And next question, are you trying to be the Bob Ross of YouTube painters? Well, that wasn't exactly my goal with the channel. But if I can replicate Bob's ultra chill vibe and help encourage more people to paint and not be intimidated with the process, I would call that a win. Don's wraps were based in Menoth, then shaded with Earthshade, then dry brush with Menoth. Final question, are you planning on doing any more large models? Absolutely. In fact, I have Creative Geek's Onslaught all printed up and waiting to go. I just need to get a camera set up in my spray booth because it's way too big to paint by brush, so look forward to that. Finally, we've made it to the interesting bits of Don, starting with his signature purple. For this, I had to go out and buy some more paint because I realized I didn't have a deep purple. But after a quick trip to my LGS, I was able to base it in Citadel Nagaroth Night. Honestly, I was skeptical of this shade in the bottle, but I was more than impressed with how deep the purple came out. Once this dried, I mixed a bit of white into the Nagaroth to give it a single highlight dry brush. Here's where I made a mistake of having a bit too much paint on my brush, but no worries, because you can always just dry brush a bit of the base tone right on top of it and you fix it no problem. Also, anyone else doing this model should take more care than I did. There are a few bits here and there that are easy to break. In fact, I had to reprint his bandana because of this. Following this, I wanted to handle all of the brown bits. Using Bootstrap Brown, I based his sandals, scroll bag, staff, and his buckle. To shade them, I used a new bottle of Reichland Flesh that I also picked up from the game store. And here was my biggest issue with this painting session, as this shade just refused to dry. Even after a half an hour under the hairdryer, it just stayed wet in the recesses. Even 2 hours later when I was doing the dry brushes, it was still sticky. I might have to look for a new brand of washes. Leave a comment if you have a suggestion. Next, I wanted to add some bling, so I brought out an old favorite of mine, Sycorax Bronze. This was used on his back ring, staff details, coin, and of course I had to make that D shine. After that, he only had a few more details to hit before the finish line. Scrolls, the steel ends of his staff, fingernails, prayer beads, and the whites of his eyes. With that, Donatello is done. I had a great time painting him and his brothers, and I hope you enjoyed watching. And to Creative Geek, thank you again for the shout out and the amazing models. I'm always surprised by the sculpts you choose to do. Now for a rotating shot with all 4 turtles to close us out. If you liked this video, please like and subscribe. And as always, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you next time.